Hello and welcome back to the channel, and incidentally, welcome back to Wizard of Metal, the series where I not only make a build based upon the lyrics and meaning of the song that I'm reviewing, but also go into detail about the song and its lyrical content to derive the meaning of it. So it's kind of a 2-for-1. You get a Wizard of Legend run, and we get to discuss in depth a particular song. I've been running this series for a while, but the unfortunate fact of the matter is not everyone necessarily understands or cares about, metal music. But one recent change that I've decided to make to the rules for this series is I will take the reins of trying to understand a song so long as it falls somewhere within the rock genre. So rock, alternative, punk, metal. So long as it's somewhere in that genre, I will be willing to have a look at it. Just don't submit pop or hip hop songs. That's not what this series is about. This series is about rock and metal. Now, before we get into today's song choice, let's quick generate the soundtrack for the game that we're going to be listening to. We've got the usual 1 through 3 up, so let's go ahead and hit this, and classic soundtrack it is. Alright. I also want to make sure I have some information up. Pardon me. Sorry, I'm just pulling up a little something here just to make sure that I'm not lost later on. All right. So the song that we're going to be looking at today is called Ghost Division. That's right. Cecil knows what's going on. And as part of the... Let's see. How do I want to do this? I think I'll go with Jade Chakra Locket to go along with the idea of having tank-like defenses. Then we're going to go with that to simulate partially to simulate tank fire. Simultaneously, we're going to be doing Wavefront because of tank-like shielding. Big explosive rounds. What one should be expecting from a tank. And more than likely, I'm going to go with Exploding Fireball. I'm just checking over my options. Make sure I'm not missing anything. And yes, I know that there are such things as tanks armed with machine cannons nowadays. None of that is outside of my understanding, but when you think about tanks, you tend to think about the big, heavy, forward-facing cannon fire. So that's where I'm getting the idea from. Now, the reason why I'm talking about tanks so much is because, for the most part, that is what this song is about. It's about a tank division. For those of you that don't know, the Ghost Division is the nickname for the 7th Panzer Division in the German Army. There you go, that's what I'm looking for. There we go. So, does this look like about what one would expect from the Ghost Division? Now, I'm just about to explain what exactly Ghost Division means, because there is a different arcana that I could put there, and that would be Shock Assault. And the reason why I'd even be looking at Shock Assault, when we're talking about essentially being a tank, is because of the name Ghost Division. Well, what exactly does Ghost Division have to do with anything, Dark Sage? I'm glad you asked. Ghost Division was the nickname given to the 7th Panzer Battalion because, more often than not, its own movements wouldn't be... its movements were so fast and hard to predict that neither their enemy nor their own commanding officers half the time would know where they were until it was too late. Which, to me, actually sounds like more of a reason to use this, and then we'll go with Audrey's charge. And there we go. That's looking a bit more like it. So we've got tank armor, tank fire, tank charge, and the idea behind the entire name Ghost Division. How's that? How's that for a slice of fried gold? Alright, now, where do we start? Since we are mostly fire-based, there we go, we'll start there. There you go, and Shu won't even know what hit him, that's just how much firepower we have. Pardon me. So let's talk a little bit about the band Sabaton. Sabaton is a Swedish, metal obviously, but what type of metal would they describe themselves as? Let's actually have a look. Now this just says they're a Swedish heavy metal band. Oh, here we go. Sabaton has been referred to as one of the big 4 power metal bands, along with Halloween, Blind Guardian, and Dragon Force. So there you go, power metal. It's no wonder I love them so much. They are originally from Falun, Sweden, and I've seen them live a good number of times. They are not only a good time to watch, but they're just plain old good guys. Like, they have a good sense of humor. One of the things that one of the things that I remember most about one of their shows was they had actually brought one of their younger fans on stage, and the dude gave him a pair of his sunglasses. Like, he didn't have to do that. There was nothing that contractually obligated him to give anyone anything, but it was just such a sweet gesture. And when I say younger, I mean like this was a kid, like maybe 7 or 8 years old. Brought him up onto stage, had him address the crowd, and then gave him a pair of his sunglasses, which those of you who know Sabaton in any real regard understand that, yeah, they are... That is something that Joachim Broden, their lead singer and kind of the face of the band, that's something that he is known for, is wearing sunglasses at his performances. But he didn't even hesitate. He was like, here you go, buddy. So that little guy gets to grow up with the memory of being personally addressed and given a gift by Joachim Broden, and I think that's just amazing. I say good for them. Good for them for wanting to do something like that for their fans, and live on stage as well. Now, the cynic in me wants to be like, oh yeah, of course they would do that because that's publicity. I mean, here I am talking about it, so of course that's going to get them publicity. Thing is, when you're known as one of the big bands from your home country, do you really need the publicity at that point? And that's why I say no. I don't look at it as just a cynical press maneuver. Oh, I was going to put on the original soundtrack, wasn't I? Oh well. Too late now. I'm not restarting the run just for that. I'll just hold on to that and use it for my next recording. Let's see. Well, we're definitely buying that. Add a chance to shock, add a chance to burn. If I can afford both of those, I will, as that's just all part of one grouping of relics, but it's also highly unnecessary. Oh, and by the way, part of the reason why I took Jade's Chakra Lock is because that plays into the idea of the more pop culture meaning behind the word tank, which is big, bulky, heavily defended character. Yes, I know that until I get it upgraded, that's going to actually downgrade Aegis Charge's damage. I'm not worried about that. It'll work out in the long run. Oh, I'm dumb. I successfully avoided and then jumped right back into its range because, who cares? Alright, let's go ahead and get to the boss chamber. So, they are currently working on their, I want to say, 9th or 10th studio album right now. As far as which album Ghost Division comes from, this song actually comes from their album The Art of War. Sabaton being a band that very heavily looked at military history for both their song meanings and lyrics. And like I said, they've been going strong for a little while now. They were first formed. Let's see if I can find that information. When was Sabaton formed? Yeah, again, right here. Most of their 9 albums are written about war. Their latest album, The Great War, which is actually about World War I, by the way, reached #1 on Swedish and German music charts, so very good for them. Oh, here we go. They are one of the most successful rock bands in Swedish history, and their album, Carolus Rex, is the best-selling Swedish heavy metal album of all time. I can definitely see why. So they've been active since 1999. So, there you go, about 22 years Sabaton has been going strong. So not as long as Blind Guardian, but, definitely a while. I know, Cecil, I know. But the people have to know about Sabaton, because Sabaton's really good. There, kite the enemy along, and then just tank them right here. See, that's known as combat strategy right there. And apparently my tummy is upset with me. But that's every day at this point, I don't really care. Yeah, knock those hammers over. Or just smash them to smithereens with my shin. So since most of their songs are about war and about specific aspects of things, I probably don't need to go into a lot of detail about what exactly Panzer Division is all about. Or not Panzer Division, Ghost Division. And And as I've already explained, but I'm going to explain again, just for those who either weren't listening or, you know, you're tuning in, going off to do something, and then coming back in. The Ghost Division is the name given to the 7th Panzer Division. It's, you know, to this, 7th Panzer Division. They are a tank division, and they were given the name Ghost Division because more often than not, neither their enemies nor their commanding officers knew where they were going to be, because their movements were both fast and hard to track. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of an idea on how that works. You can have the token, messy prescription. Oh, significantly increases healing. Well, that goes a long way towards being a tank, so thank you. Owie. Now this, of course, being a division from... let's grab... Actually, I'm not sure I want to grab any of that just yet. I want to wait and see what Iris is selling. There we go. This is Sparta! Shield bash. In the movie, it was a kick. I use a shield bash. You know what? I'm going for it. And then we'll grab the electrifying smock. And that's all my money. Yay! Looking good. So, obviously, for those of you who haven't heard the song, and this might be one of the reasons why my original Wizard of Metal series didn't do so well, it's one of the things I should have done is included a link to the relevant music video so that you could listen to the song for yourself. One of the reasons why I didn't do that is because I had that on my Discord. I was failing to take into account the idea that not everyone was following my Discord. And there we go. And I am not turning that down. That's a beautiful, beautiful attack. So at this point you're thinking, okay, that's all well and good. We know what the Ghost Division is, we have an idea of who Sabaton are now, but how does this song actually go? Well, you are in luck, because in this series I definitely go over the song lyrics. Now, as a reminder, for those of you who haven't, I am so smart. Now, as a reminder, for those of you who either haven't seen my Wizard of Metal videos, or for those of you who just never knew in the first place, I tend to read the lyrics not necessarily in the same cadence as the song. I tend to read the lyrics very deadpan so that you can understand them and address your own meaning to the song. So hopefully we all understand that, and I am pulling the lyrics to Ghost Division directly from Sabaton's own website, sabaton.net. So hopefully so if there's any, argument over, oh, are these the official lyrics or not, this is coming directly from Sabaton, so these better be the official lyrics. So, here we go. Sabaton, Ghost Division. Fast as the wind, the invasion has begun, shaking the ground with the force of 1,000 guns. So, that already, the lyrics are very evocative. They paint a very grim-sounding picture, and honestly, I wouldn't want it any other way. And you're singing a song about war and what it brings. And also, they're immediately telling you, yeah, the Ghost Division were quick bastards. So, right away, the lyrics paint a beautiful picture, and catch your attention. Next part. First in the line of fire, first into hostile land, tanks leading the way. So it's a tank battalion, and they were oftentimes brought in as kind of, as a tank battalion would be, they're brought in at kind of the forefront of all of the garbage. So yeah, it makes sense that they would be leading the way. Let's see, next section. Charging the lines with the force of a furious storm. Fast as the lighting phantoms swarm. I think that's supposed to be lightning phantoms, so, that's either a mistake on the person who put this up on the website, or Google being Google. But again, they're really emphasizing they were fast, they were powerful. They shake the ground with their movements, and yeah, what do you expect? They are a force to be reckoned with. Alright, so now we've got that going. And I'm gonna buy this just because, one, it's gonna be more effective against the twins than our shock treatment. But two, it kind of acts like mortar fire, and I just absolutely love this spell. Alright. No thanks. Alright, next section of the lyrics. Here we go. Let's see, 200 miles at nightfall, taken within a day, thus earning the name, earning the fame. So this is obviously talking about one of their more strategic and surprise maneuvers, where they just kind of showed up out of nowhere, and they moved 200 hours within one night, and took their target within 1 day of combat. So, see, then we get to the chorus. They are the Panzer Elite, born to compete, never retreat. Ghost Division. Living or dead, always ahead, fed by our dread. So there you go. And if you want a line for how dreadful your next D&D villain is, that's what you say. They'll take you living or dead. They're always ahead. They're fed by your dread. And again, that makes an awful lot of sense considering what exactly it is they're talking about and what it is that people during World War II had to deal with. Absolutely frightening, absolutely horrifying. It's just, again, it's evocative, it's frightening, it's what you want song lyrics to be, and also why am I having such a hard time clearing everything out here? I'll tell you, it's because these guys, this battle's entire purpose is just to flood the stream of bullshit. There we go. Alright, well, that was a more damaging floor than I expected it to be. Anyway, next part of the lyrics. Always ahead as the blitzkrieg rages on. Breaking morale with the sound of blazing guns. Yeah, that would definitely break my morale if I were part of an army and then all of a sudden I just hear all of this noise coming towards me and I'm just going, okay, well, that's it for me. Let's see, next part of the lyrics. First in the line of fire, first into hostile land, tanks leading the way, leading the way. Again, we've already been over that part for the most part. But, I mean, yeah, first into hostile land, you're a tank. You're supposed to be leading the way because you're the one who can take the brunt of the garbage. Leaving a trail of destruction through a foreign land. Waging war with conviction. Massive assault live to serve the Nazi plan. Wehrmacht's pride, Ghost Division. So once again, they're just saying, yes, this is one of the prides of the Nazi army, because even though their own commanders-in-chief don't exist, or I don't want to say commander-in-chief because that's not quite the right term, but even though they themselves don't know where the Ghost Division is at all times, they got the job done. They made sure people knew to be afraid of that name and of the army in general. So yeah, like they said, earning the name, earning the fame, which I think we're getting to in the lyrics. Yep, there we are. Communications broken, phantoms too far away. Thus earning the name, earning the fame. And then we do the chorus one more time. They are the Panzer Elite, born to compete, never retreat. Ghost Division. Living or dead, always ahead, fed by your dread. I still love that line. So then at this point there's a guitar solo, which I'm not going to try to do with my kind of silly, goofy voice, but just trust me, there's a guitar solo here. Okay. Oof, my tummy is very upset with me, so doesn't mean I'm gonna rush, it just means I've felt better. Nah, I don't need anything from here. Alright, what's the next part of the lyrics? So we've been through the chorus, we did the guitar solo, which I'm not going to actually try to do. Oh yeah, so, next verse. Pushing the front line forth with a tremendous force. Far ahead breaks resistance. Breaching the way for the Panzer Corps. First in the line of fire, first into hostile land. Tanks leading the way, claiming the fame. Or claiming the fame, I think I said that wrong. And then the chorus one last time: Panzer elite, born to compete, never retreat, living or dead, or supposed to be living or dead, I actually spelled it wrong here. Always ahead, fed by your dread. Oh, and they have a historical fact here too, so I know you're probably a little bit bored by just watching my character sit still while I speak, but this is going in depth on the Ghost Division song and thus the Ghost Division. So let's read this historical fact presented to us by Sabaton themselves. The 7th Panzer Division, commanded by Erwin Rommel, participated in the invasion of Belgium and France in 1940. By the 3rd day of the invasion, the 7th, along with 3 divisions commanded by General Heinz Guderian, reached the River Moose. By the 16th of May, the 7th had reached its assigned objective in I don't know how to pronounce this, so I'm just doing my best. Avesnes, where it was supposed to stop and await further orders. But Rommel decided to press on. On the 20th of May, the division reached Arras, where they encountered heavy resistance from the British forces. They reached Lille on the 27th of May, where they sieged until the 31st. On the 17th of June 1940, the division was ordered to advance on Cherbourg. The division advanced 240 kilometers in 24 hours, and after 2 days of battle, won against the French garrison. The speed and surprise they were able to have achieved was considerable, to the point that the German High Command lost track of the division, and thus they earned the nickname Ghost Division. So there you go, there's just the full-on explanation of why they're called the Ghost Division. And you know what? It's great, even though I wasn't able to adequately pronounce some of the names of those locations, which, you know, that's me being a stupid American. It's still very nice to have that information in tow, and we are going to upgrade our road here. But I mean, that is kind of Sabaton's thing. They are a metal band that sings about history. And let's be fair, a lot of history is very bloody and very dangerous. But like I said, that is their thing. They sing about military history, and they do it very well, I might add. Like I said, I've seen them live many times. The last time they were kind of near my hometown, I did not get to see them. And that's mostly because they were there supporting Judas Priest and their, I'm not sure what you would call it, revival, continuation of whatever it is they do. Like, Judas Priest is a really old band. Obviously, it's not the same members anymore, but they were touring with them, supporting them, which meant tickets were outrageously expensive. So yeah, wasn't able to afford to go to that show. That was too much. And then the show before that I wasn't able to go to because, again, financial problems. So next, but they come to Minnesota frequently. It probably has something to do with the idea that Minnesota has a lot of Swedish heritage. So they visit here frequently. So next time they're in town, I definitely want to see them again. Like, I am a big fan and supporter of Sabaton. It's funny, because the first time I heard their music, I was like, are they supporting are they in support of the old Nazi regime? Is this even allowed to be aired? And then I actually looked them up and went to understand that, no, they're just singing about military history. They're actually presenting just about everything they can, and yes, they, like, any decent person should, view Hitler to be a reprehensible monster. So it's like, okay, everything is on the up and up again. There we go. I wouldn't mind taking that, but I actually kind of like the idea of holding on to twin turbines, so I will not be taking that. Was there anything else here I wanted? Yeah, I'm gonna grab that. Because that's also going to include Chaos Gems, which I will currently build. Lame. That was a waste. I made oops. There we go. That's better. Hey, look how quickly my health skyrocketed. Now we're really tanky. So if you haven't been able to piece it together by now, I'm a big Sabaton fan. I really enjoy their work, and I think they're, especially in a time, at least in America, rock music is kind of not receiving its due, if you ask me. It's good to know that it's surviving somewhere. And that's the thing. Rock music is fighting a very unfortunate battle with potential irrelevance in my country, and that's largely due to the idea that there's lots of crappy music out there that you know they say is rock, I say is schlock. And that's very largely where the term butt rock comes from. And if you haven't heard that term before, and I'm actually going to look it up because it has a definition, it's not just me making something up for a quick laugh. That having been said, I laughed the first time I heard it and wasn't aware it was actually a thing. So, from Loudwire, why is it called butt rock? Loosely speaking, butt rock could stand for any rock music a listener is potentially averse to, regardless if they're aware as to why. But the historical cornerstones for understanding butt rock are generally all there, so let's see. And according to Urban Dictionary, a style of hard rock and heavy metal music that is watered down both musically and lyrically to garner maximum radio play and mainstream acceptance. Lyrical themes are drawn from a put-on tough guy / bro persona, and include being a badass, getting lots of pussy, strippers, partying, and being betrayed or alone. Image-wise, butt rock bands typically consist of guys in their mid-30s with spiky hair, Affliction t-shirts, and bad tattoos. Now, these are of course generalizations, but surely you already get the idea in your head. It's like, oh, this is the sort of person that listens to butt rock. See, the typical fan emulates this fashion style and exhibits what they think are manly personality traits, such as frequently drinking energy drinks, driving an unnecessarily large truck, and otherwise overcompensating for an insecure in their masculinity. They also tend to have a superficial knowledge of metal music, being familiar only with bands that receive regular radio rotation. Examples of butt rock bands include Five Finger Death Punch, 3 Days Grace, Buck Cherry, Nickelback, Disturbed, aw really, and Three Doors Down. Now, I can agree with most of that, but Disturbed? Come on now. I think better proprietors of that would be like Theory of a Dead Man. Or just Theory as they're called now. To me, that's more butt rock than Disturbed. Come on now. I think maybe the writer might have been showing their biases there a bit. Hey, Darkseid, you're kind of getting your ass kicked. Thanks, I didn't notice. But yes, I think it's the propagation of that as kind of like a staple of rock music in America is probably precisely why rock and metal don't see a lot of play or respect here in America. It's because of things like that, because of bands like, well, let's be fair, Nickelback and Theory of a Dead Man are Canadian. They're not American, but they are North American. Yep, and I see you've got the Mimic over there, so I'm already looking to see what I can give up for that. Now, I don't have a lot of stuff that I want to give up for the Mimic, to be fair. But I will give up all 3 of these things. So we do have some fuel for that fire. But there's a part of me that might want to hold on to the gem locator just as a means of more consistent regeneration. Okay, you guys are making me really mad. There we go. Take care of a little business here. Yeah, nothing here I want. And that is a big part of the reason why I wanted to do this series, is to show, yeah, rock and metal can be a lot more than what you're hearing get mainstream radio play. And some of you live in countries where mainstream radio did not determine the fate of rock and roll music, and I envy you. Because the more butt rock we get here in America, the more I have to consign myself to the idea that this is why rock and roll is dying a slow death. It's because of bands like Nickelback, bands like Theory of a Dead Man, bands like Immure and Attila, and I'm sorry if you actually like them, but as much as I like metal, I can't stand the idea of music that's heavy just for the sake of being heavy. Like, come on, music should actually be music. Like, you can be heavy and not lack in all noticeable musical quality or talent. What the hell? I'm getting messed around by my control pad way too much. Like, this is not even right. Alright, so let's grab that. Let's grab that. Now let's go put down the things that we don't want to give up. Put down that, put down that. I can't drop that. Put down that, put down that, put down that. And just because it's acting as a soft synergy, I'll take that. There we go. Everything else go away. Plus 25. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. God damn, 341 damage. What is wrong with me? Can't be taking that kind of damage. But because of how tanky we are, you'll notice we're only down, like, what was it, like 100 health? Oh, not even that, but that's partially because we picked up a Chaos Gem. Will you go away already? Christ. Now, some of you have already heard me talk about the reason why I wanted to do this series, and hopefully you understand, because I'm a huge proponent of rock and metal, and watching my favorite genre just get overtaken by just... I mean, let's be fair, the same thing is kind of happening to rap and hip-hop music nowadays, where it's all being taken over by the same type of stupid behaviors and, you know, lack of talent. And I'm aware that there's probably a number of you out there that disagree with me, and that's actually a-okay. We should have different opinions, because different opinions is how we learn. It's how we end up having conversations about these things. But hopefully you can also understand, even if you don't necessarily agree with my point of view, you can at least understand it. You can understand you can understand why I'm a little put off by the genre of music that I love being essentially put out to pasture by, you know, by its own death because of irrelevance. And I hope that none of you are experiencing that with the music that you love to listen to. Now, part of that, in my opinion, is due to the idea that the stuff that makes a lot of money is not necessarily the stuff that's the most creative and, you know, artistically interesting and innovative. Is that the thing that's causing me the most trouble, is just these elemental archers? I mean, there's nothing here that's really tickling my pink. I'm gonna grab that. Well, I guess with the messy prescription, Blades of Sympathy... I said that completely wrong. Blades of Sympathy will be doing something for me. And I don't really have anything I want to give to you, so screw it. We'll just fight the boss and call it good. And even though Captain's Ring isn't going to be worth much, grab it anyway. That extra 12 is still useful. Another fun fact about Sabaton that some of you may or may not know, I'm leaning in the direction of not, but I could be wrong about that. And it's also about Ghost Division. They tend to lead most of their shows with the song Ghost Division. Like every show that I've seen, they've led it with Ghost Division. That didn't work. Like, that didn't work at all. Wow, do I suck. I am really off my game today. You wouldn't know it by my health total, but I have taken a lot of stupid damage thanks to hubris, mostly. I didn't know. I wasn't aware that Blades of Sympathy triggered like that. So Blades of Sympathy is actually best taken when you have a lot of multi-hit Arcana. Oh, come on. I just talked about you and how great your range was. Stop proving me wrong. Bum bum. And that's about what we can afford. So if y'all get the chance, go see a Sabaton show. They are really good. They're talented. They're just decent guys. Like I have literally no bad things to say about Sabaton. There we go. How's that for a pro dodge? And then followed by one of the worst dodges I've ever made in my life. I thought he was going to be held still long enough that I could hit with all of them. There we go. Ghost Division! So there you go. That is Ghost Division. I hope you guys enjoyed the run. Hopefully it was thematic enough for you. If I wasn't tanky enough, I'm sorry. I mean, I thought I did a pretty good job at being tanky, but, you know, I could be wrong about that. So thank you guys very much for watching and sharing some of your free time with me. I hope you're okay with Wizard of Metal being back in the rotation. because now I'm a little bit more open to some music, not all of it. And despite what I said about Emure and Attila and what I usually say about Hatebreed, if you want to submit those songs for Wizard of Metal, I will look at them. Just don't expect nearly as much positive glowing praise. See, even Cecil doesn't like that. He's like, Hatebreed? No, 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 no. But I mean, that also opens up the door for things like Linkin Park and Rage Against the Machine. So hopefully you guys take it. I really enjoy Wizard of Metal, and I hope to see you guys back with some more suggestions. And I would say feel free to put those suggestions wherever, so long as I can see them. On my Discord is probably the best place. But if you want to put them on my Facebook, if you want to tweet your suggestions at me, if you think I should you think I should use another type of social media so that I can keep in contact with you guys, by all means, let me know, and I will, within reason, be willing to accommodate. So, thank you guys very much again. I appreciate your continued support. Links to my social media, as well as to the Ghost Division video, will be in the description below, and I will catch you guys later. My name is Dark Sage Walker, and I will be seeing you, and don't give in to the butt rock. It's not worth it.